Hi everyone, Joe here with another Fallout 76 video. Now that Wastelanders has been live for a while and Fallout 76 has been added to the Xbox Game Pass, we're seeing a lot of new players in the game. So if you're a new player, welcome. I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. So what should you plan to do on day one after leaving Vault 76? In this video, we'll be looking at some basics to start you on your way. So let's jump in. So you're fresh from the vault. What do you need to know in order to survive in the wasteland? Tip number 1, arm yourself. When you exit the vault, you are completely unarmed except for your fists. Your first opportunity to grab a weapon is just outside of the vault door to the right. Loot this responder's body to pick up a pipe weapon and ammo. Tip number 2, keep an eye on hunger and thirst. You can find food and water in lots of places, but you'll want to cook your own food and drink as soon as you can. For that reason, I recommend you find the Overseer's camp before doing anything else in the game. There are several crafting stations, including a cook station there. Tip number 3, follow the Overseer and Responder quest lines. These quest lines are very good early game options, and they will help you level up quickly and get you most of the plans you'll need to build a functional camp. Tip number 4, collect and scrap everything. It will do two things. First, it will lighten your load, and you can't carry very much early in the game. And second, scrapping weapons and armor will unlock modifications you can add to other weapons and armor later on. You'll also need all the scrap you can get to build your camp, and of course make those weapons and armor. Any junk items, extra weapons, or armor you don't plan to use, scrap them. By the way, you can spam create and then spam scrap weapons and armor to get lots of mods from them at once. Speaking of plans, tip number 5, collect plans and recipes. In order to build up your camp and of course create weapons and armor, you'll need plans and you'll need recipes in order to cook. So where besides scrapping can you find plans and recipes? You can find them pretty much laying around everywhere in the game. Just pick them up when you find them. Another way is just to kill and loot your enemies. Plans and recipes will drop as part of the random loot table when you go through an enemy's inventory. Next, claim a workshop. When you do, you'll be given one, or in this case, several plans. Complete the power-up events at one of the region's 3 nuclear power stations. There's a good chance you'll be rewarded with a plan for something like a camp generator. If you have the caps, you can also buy them from vendors around the world. Most vendors will have them in their inventories. Also, a lot of players have vendor stations in their camps, and they are willing to sell plans to you through those vendor stations. If you have the caps, they have the plans. Tip number 6, find the train stations and the Red Rocket garages. They all have stash boxes you can access and at least one crafting station. Train stations have vendor bots with whom you can trade, and most important for early gameplay, a map of other train stations. If you look at the map, click on the pins in the map and the locations of other train stations will be unlocked. You'll still have to actually go to the train stations to use them for fast travel, but at least now you know where they are. Tip number 7, camp placement. Since it costs caps to fast travel anywhere other than Vault 76 and a camp belonging to you or a teammate, you want to strategically place your camp so you can fast travel with the least expense. Between frequently visited locations is best. Number 8, create or join public teams when they're available. Joining a public team can give you an experience or special stat boost depending on what kind of team you join. Not to mention getting help completing events. It's also cool that you can now join teams without having to be friends first. Tip number 9, choose a character build. After you get a feel for the game, decide what kind of character you want to build. That will help you choose which special stats and perk cards to select when you level up. Do you want to be a stealthy sniper, a melee weapons ninja, or a power armor wearing, heavy weapon wielding juggernaut of doom? Any and all options are open. If you need help choosing which build to use, a quick search of the internet will show lots of options and advice. Last but not least, tip number 10. Don't be afraid to ask for help. For the most part, the player community is very generous. Don't be afraid to ask more experienced players for help. I bet they will. And that's it for this video. If you have any other helpful tips for new players, please share them in the comments section below. And if you have any ideas for future videos that you would like to see, go ahead and add those in the comments as well. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with another Fallout 76 video.